Joe.
Hey, yeah.
For like the first time in almost a year, we are both in the same state.
Oh my goodness!
This morning. Yeah, man.
My mind is blown.
Florida, guys. It's still, in case somebody was wondering, it is still humid here. Unreal. I forgot the wall of just boom. You want humidity? Bam. Here you go. Oh, right in the face.
Yeah, and where are you? You're outside?
Yeah, I'm in Jacksonville, Jacksonville Beach area. I went to, well, my son's with me, so I can't, he's still asleep, so I'm not using the hotel room. And then I thought I was going to be on the beach, but it turns out there's a main road in Jacksonville called Beach Boulevard, which does go near the beach, but the hotel's on Beach Boulevard, not on the beach. It's like the assistant to the general manager. You're not the assistant general manager. This hotel is not on the beach. It's on beach.
You booked this hotel based on that it was on beach, but not on the beach?
Yeah. Well, so it's a Holiday Inn. It's fine. It's good. But in my mind, I know where there's a Holiday Inn on the beach. So it might have been a little, suggestive in my own mind where I was like, oh, that's the one. Boom. But it was
Let's go. We're doing it.
Yeah, it was like a Travelocity package, where you kind of get what you get sort of thing, or they give you a region. And I was like, oh, the Holiday Inn at the beach. I know exactly where that's at. I'll get it. And I'm like, it's close. It's not exactly what I thought. But anyway, it was kind of funny this morning because I was like, man, I need a like a meeting area. Is there can I go by the pool? And she's like, the pool doesn't open till 9. I was like, I'm not going to swim. I just need a table. She's like, we got the whole lobby. I'm like, you don't want me yelling, waving my arms, talking ball python. She's like, well, you could go outside. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll sit outside. So it's nice. It's a little buggy and very muggy, but it's all right. This is good.
Buggy and muggy. I mean, that's Florida for you. There it is, right there.
That's actually
and hurricane-y.
Yeah, that's what Florida translates
tropical
to.
Stormy. Yes.
Yeah, it's very Debbie out here.
Yeah,
it's good.
Did you experience any of that? The Debbie?
Just a little of the bands, the remnants as I was coming in. We flew in Tuesday morning, so the descent into Jacksonville was a little bumpy. Otherwise, it's cool.
I'm getting a picture of how the news is up north about Florida storms. Because like when I moved down here in 2012, every year there's some kind of storm that rolls into the Tampa Bay area, and it's on the news, and I guess it reaches my mom, who loves me very much and is very worried about
all the time, right? Yeah.
Like, I always think it's funny, like when I'm on the phone with her and like the call is dropped for some reason. You know how a call just gets dropped, Yeah,
it's just typical stuff, right?
I always think in my brain, I always laugh because I think she's immediately concerned that I've been abducted by someone. And,
right, the Florida criminals.
And that's why the call was dropped. And she's gonna call me back, and I'm gonna have to have like a code word or something to tell her. Anyway, so every time a storm rolls in, she calls me and goes, are you okay? Is everything okay? Everything's fine. And I'm like, yeah, it's just a bunch of rain. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And then So then Chelsea's parents like have a place in Michigan now the past couple of years.
Yeah,
And they've lived in Florida though since like 85, 86, something like
they
that.
know the deal. Yeah, they know
They
what's up.
know the deal. But they're in Michigan right now and they called because of the Debbie news up north. And they're like, "Are you guys okay down there? Is everything okay?" And it's like, "Yeah, you live here. You know the deal." Like this
You
is
know
not,
what's gonna happen. It's
yeah.
so
Uh
what's the Florida rule? If it's below Cat 3, we just party, right? So Cat 1 and 2, it's let it rip. You're having a good time.
yes. I think I've
The
only
day off of
been
work.
in one storm where I was like, wow, this is big time. Like I like slept in my closet. That was it. And it was like
Okay,
a
all
couple
right.
of years before because I wanted to be away from the windows or whatever. But
Yeah,
now
I've had a
there's been
yeah.
so many like, and actually the tropical storms they can cause a lot more damage where we are than the actual hurricanes.
Okay, all right. Well, so what you're saying is you're fine though, from no issue from the hurricane for you.
No, yeah, no issues at all. No, there's just a lot of rain. My yard was kind of flooded for a minute, but that was it. So
Yeah,
we're
I
all
don't even see. I'm looking around. I don't even see any standing water here. And it actually last night and Tuesday it was nasty rain all day. But it's just Florida summer kind of thing. So
yeah.
what's your one thing for the week, man? What do we got to know this week?
Well, I mean, I think I'm harping on the renovation of my office a little bit
Well,
more
you got it all
but
dimmed behind you. We can't even
I
see it,
love it.
man.
I love it. I love it. It's great. I love coming in here to work every day. It's fantastic. There is, and this is my one thing. There is a question that I want to ask people. We did do something aesthetically at first, and I'm looking at it right now. Aesthetically, just to like do something on our wall, we decided to get a record player.
Okay.
Did I mention this last week? I didn't mention this
Uh,
last week on the show. I think I told you.
I was just say we have talked, and I know there is a record player, but I don't know where we're headed with this.
It's aesthetically, it's just to like have like some records on the wall. I didn't
Okay.
realize how like fun it would be to actually have a record player.
Oh, I
It was
see.
like really fun to actually
Yeah.
come in here and play some records while I'm doing my work and everything. But we bought a record player and then we didn't have any records. And then we realized how expensive records are. They're like $20.
Yeah, you can't
20,
like yeah,
and
at least,
and
right.
if you want like a good one, like it's like $40 sometimes. Uh so then we started to go like on eBay. We
Yeah, I
started to
made
go
you
on.
big. I wanted to see the aesthetic, man. Yeah, I messed it
Oh,
up.
okay.
Oh
There
no,
it is. There it
now I've
is.
really
There it
done it.
is. Here we
Let me
go.
figure out how to make
There you
this
go.
normal again.
Big
All
time.
right.
There it is.
Oh yeah, give us a quick
Okay.
tour while you're all big.
There.
It's so
So there
dim.
it is.
All right.
We
What'd you
didn't
go
have
with on the
any.
wall there?
We got Joe Jackson's Jump and Jive.
Oh, okay. Didn't he have an album like Stepping Out or something?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
that
same
was
Joe
his.
Jackson?
That
Yeah.
was it was his big hit in the '80s. But he got sick. And he was in his apartment. I think it was in London, and he started to listen to like Duke Ellington, and he made this
Oh,
big
cool. Okay.
album called Jump and Jive. And I think Jump and Jive is a great album. We got Kind of Blue, Miles Davis, and up top
Yeah.
we got a little Bob Duro. But we needed this section. We were going to get like a large plant or something here. But anyway, it was. But I love listening to these records. It's really fun, and I don't like I kind of like I know that it's been around for a while to go back to records and like it's kind of like
Yeah.
a hipster thing and stuff like
Definitely
that.
the hip thing, right?
And I didn't really. It was more of like we needed something to put here, and we got like a $35 record player. You know, it wasn't like we're like trying to get like the best stuff and like we're saying, oh, this is the best way to listen to music or whatever. But it's finding these records now. And so I'm wondering, is anybody else into this, first of all? Or does anybody have any records that they want to unload? You can contact me via my Instagram, Proper Cup of Joe. And
Joe has
just
joined
let
the
me know.
Instagram world. Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
Just let me know. Or if you've got any places where you go, oh, this is the best place to find records or whatever. I've been buying from Amazon and eBay. There's this one place in Texas called Record Town. So any information, anything anybody has about records, where to get records for a good price, all of that stuff, send them my way. Or if you just want to unload some records, let me know, and I'll take a look at your collection.
You could do like what are the, like, you could do like the community version, one of those like little neighborhood libraries, like, you know, people say, hey, you send me 2 records, I'm going to send you 2 records, kind of deal. And you don't know what they are. Yeah. And then, you know, ultimately they'll come back to each other or something like that.
That's a pretty good idea, except I think I'm the only hipster doofus in the neighborhood.
All right, look, man, Chris is bidding on an original Exile on Main Street. Now, Exile, well, I'm not going to get into a whole tirade on Exile, but it's at least a double, and it might have been a triple album. I know on CD it's 2, but it opens out, and the pictures in it are phenomenal. And the Stones were all they were tax exiles. They left London or England to go to France because they were getting taxed at like 80-90%. So Exile on Main Street is what they recorded in France, man. It's my favorite Stones album. It's perfect, man. So there you go, John.
So maybe we got some people in here who's would like to trade me or whatever. My collection. Look at this. So we went over to Chelsea's parents' place. Chelsea has, and they said, well, yeah, we have some records. So we got some of them. Let's see. We've got DeBarge.
What the hell? What is DeBarge?
DeBarge. Come on, it's
Rhythm of the Night on vinyl.
Rhythm of the Night. Rhythm of the Night. Yes. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. We got John Denver, but
okay,
the later John Denver. Oh, we got another John Denver.
Okay.
We got the Ghostbusters soundtrack album. There you go. And then we got Star Wars.
Okay, now some people are really gonna want that one, man.
And then we got a Robin Williams album.
Oh my God, who is that? What is that?
Yes. It's a coffee mug. Oh. That's my impression of Robin Williams.
Oh, you got Robin Williams on vinyl. That's probably pretty good. You get all
this guy. Come on, there he is. Oh, you can't see him.
Yeah, there was a little. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That'd be my choice out of them all. Yeah, I think you need. Yeah, you need some Stones, man. Led Zeppelin 1 would be great. Oh, you know, if you find the album of Led Zeppelin 3, it actually has a little spinner in it, and you spin it and it changes the picture on the cover. Like there's two layers of it. Led Zeppelin 3.
Oh yeah.
You can spin the top of it. Yeah.
It's funny. So, there's only certain kinds of music that I'm enjoying on the record player, and it's mostly like jazz and like I don't know. Like I got a Carole King Tapestry album. It's got to be old, folksy rock kind of, and then jazz is good stuff.
Not that it's the conversation for here, but if you ever want to really get a good conversation going among rock and roll snobs, just say the words rock and roll would not exist without Carole King, and see what madness ensues. But you can win that conversation, man. Well, Joe, that's cool. Here we go.
You have to, and and you have to find albums that are good all the way through. And this album, I mean, is fantastic.
Tapestry is it is fantastic.
Anyway,
so that is cool. I want to sit in the room. I want to have some beverages, and we'll slap on some vinyl. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There we go.
I'm excited.
So
how about you, man?
Thing,
what's up with you? What's your one thing?
Well, I think this is really cool, and it's not about me, but it's really special to me. There's a guy in the Tampa Bay area. His name is Jeremy Bod, and Jeremy goes out of his way to make the coolest stuff that you could imagine. So the Daytona show is coming up next week. My timing is off because, of course, I'm in Florida, but the Daytona show is next week. I feel like I'm yelling. It's rush hour traffic just flying by me. So I don't have monitors.
We can only hear your voice. I can't hear any
Okay, good. So, well, if I sound emphatic, it's like I'm trying to talk over the traffic.
Calm down.
But
will you stop yelling at me, okay?
Well, take it easy. I'm pretty excited here too, though. So Jeremy was one of the very first people that reached out to me and said, "Hey, your content's really good. Keep doing what you're doing." I had just done my first solo show, and he messaged me after. I'd never heard of him before, heard from him, nothing. And he goes, "You're the only podcaster that I've listened to a solo show the whole way through." He goes, "I can't believe it. You got to keep doing what you're doing." I said, "Okay, cool." And from there, we kind of became friends. But he called me out of the blue one day, and he says, "I need a guitar." I said, "I didn't know you played guitar." He goes, "I don't, but I think it'd be the coolest thing to get a cool rock and roll, legitimate guitar. And we're going to get it signed by everybody, all these icons of the industry, and we're going to auction it at the US Arc auction in Daytona." Now, this was a couple years back, and he did it, and the guitar went for 2 years. It was auctioned, redonated, and then auctioned again. So over 2 years, this guitar has gotten more than $20,000 in auction value to raise money for US Arc.
Yeah,
Jeremy did all the footwork. I mean, it was a guitar that I had assembled, built, hot rodded, and toured with, but that was all of Jeremy's work. Well, this year, Jeremy's back at it. He has Jeremy Bod at Bod's Exotic Reptiles and Steve Casino got together, and I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to play the video of what they've put together and donated, and these guys have put in. Look, it's to raise money, so it's not really about the money that they've put in for it. But it's a super cool thing. I mean, it's as retro cool as your record player, man. Let me see if I can make this work without screwing it up, okay? So check out what Jeremy Bod's got going. There's no audio to this video, so I'll talk over it, I think, or I'm going to try to. Let's see what we got here. We're going to, and let me press the play button. Look at this. He got an old 80s GT. Had it totally stripped down, had it completely newly powder coated, and it is badass. Like the visions of my 80s BMX fun days. And I mean, it's fully outfitted. Look at the pegs on it there. The handlebars have the rotors, so you can do all the tricks and the flips. Look at US Arc on the back of the seat, man. I'm loving this thing. There's a couple of videos of it, so you can check them out on Jeremy's page. But that's going to be donated to US Arc to be auctioned. And that bike, I don't know what the over-under is, Joe. I got to put the over-under at 15 grand that thing's going to go for. I bet.
Really?
It is. Absolutely, man. It is so cool. It's I think even people that, I'm not going to say who, but there's somebody I think that won't be at Daytona that I think will be on the phone or have people bidding proxy bids for them. There are a lot of people. Look at it. It's in the snake room too. How cool was that? There's a lot of people that.
That was perfect timing. We did hear that. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, they're drag racing to work. I can't imagine being that excited to go to work. That's ridiculous. Anyway, So that is very cool. Jeremy's been an amazing supporter of me, a good friend, a great mentor, and I'm just so thankful for everything he does for the community, guys. So go check out Bod's Exotic Reptiles, and when you're in Daytona, check out the GT BMX bike. Oh, and no stickers and US Arc stuff. That's under the powder coat, like that's under the clear coat. It's there on there. It's so really nicely done.
Wow, that's
So there we
really
go.
awesome. That is great. That's great. And Jeremy
That's the
is great. Is fantastic. Very cool. Very cool. Uh well, great.
yeah. So I'm here in Florida, and uh, I found when I have like a job and my salary job, I was always like vacation time, ready to go. But now that it's like my own company, and if I'm not working, I'm not making any money. It's not like I pay myself PTO, and then, or if I do, it's just lying to myself because it's just money that I just delayed taking. But also, like, we do this weird, like, take pride in like how overwhelmed we are. You know, like, oh, I got so much going on. I'm so busy. Blah blah blah. But it's what I'm saying is there's a little bit of a mental stress to step away this week. And we always hear these like business lectures of like, oh, you got to get ahead, but do more with doing less. And I thought it was an interesting conversation to try and assimilate vacation into it. But now, as I'm saying it out loud, like people are probably like, oh, poor Adam, he's on vacation in Florida and he's whining about it. Like, that's not really what I mean. I meant like philosophically. I don't want to come across that way.
well, yeah, it is, but it is one of the benefits of being on your own and being your own business owner. It is because you can go. You're not answering to somebody who's going to allow you to go someplace at a certain time. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you are beholden to whatever industry that you got into. And so you're going to go up or down based on the amount of work that you do. So you're right. Yeah. It's not like, yeah, I mean, that work needs to be done. It's not like somebody else is going to step in and take care of it. You have
Right.
to, yeah. So you're never not thinking about your baby, your
Yeah.
thing that
Well, and
you,
so much can get done, on these.
right.
I was at a local bowling alley last night, and this customer, thankfully, they had made a payment. Very cool. And I hadn't responded to them, and they were like getting a little agitated. And I'm like, all right. And I did reply. I was like, hey, I got the payment. I'll send you an updated balance statement and all that. But I'm kind of on vacation with my family, and they were fine. But I remember being like thinking through, like, do I need to say leave me alone, or do I need to say thanks to this customer, or do I need to do nothing? It'll still be there in the morning. I could have responded to them this morning. But like I said, they did get a little agitated. I was like, I better respond to them before they,
Well, is
but
there so that's a question that I would have for you and for anybody. Is there anything that's really I mean, I would imagine that there's some things that are timed, but is there anything that is super urgent about breeding snakes and then selling them? Is there
um,
anything that's like, God, I got to get this done?
well, when if it comes to taking money, yeah. I mean, there's 20,000 snakes on Morph Market. If somebody wants one of mine, I better be responsive, or they're going to go buy
Yeah.
another one.
No,
So
right. Yeah.
I could choose to be out of the office, or you just send a note or whatever. Um, but I'm really kind of blowing that out of proportion. It was fine. The bigger challenge for me of urgency is uh, my snakes are in my house, and if they're not cleaned, there could be quite a
Yeah.
bio load that starts coming through. So um, I've only gone for like 4 days, and there is somebody that I have there's another breeder in town that has been helping me at the shop, which is, I don't know if they want me to know, if they want people to know they're working with me or not. So I need to ask, but it's not a secret, but I don't know if they want to be identified. But like they'll come today and do the rodents, which are not in the house, but I'm not quite at the point where I'm like handing over keys to my house when I'm not there, you know?
Yeah. Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's, but that's time and trust and relationship and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So,
Well,
but anyway,
like,
go ahead.
yeah. Well, like at what point aren't there moments though, no matter if it's your own work that you've created for yourself that's sustaining you, aren't there moments when you go, dude, I just need a break. I gotta step away. I gotta step away and I need to do this thing. I need to go to Jacksonville with my
Yeah.
son. I need to go and just take a break. And do you ever really take a break? Do you ever really take a break to just kind of shut off and shut down? And do you necessarily need that?
You know, what's funny is I have found I really, really enjoy, I'm lucky enough to really enjoy what I'm doing. I actually find it relaxing to check in. Like, you know, I stay active with the Patreon chat. I recorded a bunch of Instagram content before I left, so I could post daily. So it's kind of nice to be able to like have one foot out and be like, all right, shut down. I'm not doing my daily chores clearly because I'm
Yeah.
not at
Yeah.
home. But the marketing and the relationships part is fun. I did actually. This is kind of funny, and it's a whole different segment, or it could be a whole different show. I've been working with a factory in China because I was really frustrated at the price of rodent bins, these lab bins that we use for rodents. So, little shameless plug, guys. I will have lab bins in 12 by 18 by 6 with the water bottles. I'll have them in person. I can't deliver, I can't mail them, but in person pickup, I'll have the kits for $45 with the water bottle. So, but anyway, I ordered, I finally got the deal done with the factory yesterday for the order. So you know, I've been doing that on the computer. But as far as like, I feel more overwhelmed when I'm at home sometimes where I'm like, man, this chore has to get done. And it's almost like a farm. Like, if it, you can't not, you can't just skip feeding sometime because you're feeling overwhelmed. The animal has to
Yeah.
eat. You can't just not do that. So there is a little bit of that commitment wherein eventually the answer comes. You got to hire, there's got to be another partner. There's got to be another active participant, you know, I think.
Yeah, I feel as though like there's two things that come up in this conversation, and one is the ability for you to step away, or for not just you but anybody to be able to step away from their work and have certain boundaries if necessary. Right now, some people don't have boundaries, and that's okay with them. I wonder, like we've got some people on the chat here. Like, I wonder, like, do you set boundaries for yourself? Like, I think about my own life, and I used to have a job where I was on call, and it didn't
Yeah.
work for me. It just didn't work for me. Like, I only did it for 3 years, and I then I was like, okay, that was my standard 3 years. And
3 years is
any
a long
in these
time though, man.
it's
Yeah.
a long time. Uh, but like, I didn't like that at any point in time I could get called and I'd have to like go into action. Like, it just didn't work for me. I don't like that. I need like downtime. I need to like let go. And it was something that I really cared about a lot. I still care about it, but I needed those times when I didn't feel like at any moment something could happen. Right?
So,
What are
yeah,
boundaries?
yeah,
That's
that's
good.
Robert. Um,
So I
so
wonder if that's like just something like a personality of mine, and or is it something, that's more universal that a lot of people feel? And then how do you let go? How do you step away when you really, really care and you need to be focused on those things? When you need it to step away, and then how do you let go like even internally in your for your business to go, I'm gonna pass some responsibilities on to others. I'm gonna delegate and do this. Those two types of letting go are I think that's what we're talking about here is like those two
Yeah.
types of things to go, yeah, it's not like that last one, like it's not exactly how I would do it, but I've hired you to do do something. So
Right. Yeah.
uh
What's good enough? Yeah. What's
yeah.
acceptable? So, all right. So when I was running, particularly at a private club, a very particular one in my mind, there was a 5, 6 year period where basically I was on call for 6 months of the year. And that drove me nuts. I get it when I was like, I'm on property 12 to 14 hours a day. Don't call me at night. I need a little time to be a dad and a husband. And I'll admit the money outweighed some of that. Plus, the other 6 months was doing almost nothing. So I think most of us would say, I'll do anything for 6 months if the next 6 months I can do nothing and get paid year round. So that was kind of that devil's bargain, so to speak. But I know exactly what you mean, Joe. Um, I will tell you, and I don't want to, this comes across a little snobby. I don't want it to be. As a business owner, I love it. I don't care when the business comes. 8 o'clock at night, watching, Big Brother with my family. Boom! I get an inquiry. There's no part of me like it's exciting. It's fun. I don't see it as a burden. I don't see it as I got to take this, um, and that's exciting because it's like fulfilling. Hey, the marketing's working. The message got out there somehow, somewhere. Whether it's from this show, whatever. All the things that
Yeah.
I do,
Yeah.
and that's fun. That's like a fulfillment, like, hey, something's working because I still feel like I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out. And
Yeah.
so that's like a, a data point of success. Yes.
Yeah.
So I really, really do enjoy that part of it. So as far as boundaries there, not really. I'm also not at the part, I haven't made enough money yet where I can go, look, man, I'm off for the evening. I'll be back tomorrow. And if I miss out on a sale, then I miss out on a sale. Like a shop owner,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they close up at some point in the day. And in theory, every person that walks by their shop after they close up could be a missed opportunity. In the virtual world, I don't have that problem. And I'm
Right.
not at
Yeah.
the point where I can go, oh, I know I'm going to make so much. If I take the gas off the pedal a little bit, there'll still be plenty of money there.
Yeah.
I'm not at that point. So I'd like to get there. I can only dream of what that's like. But to Robert's point of Husbandry Pro, I I don't know. I'm assuming, but I think Robert has been plenty successful. He made the joke, "What are boundaries?" He works constantly. He and we message at all kinds of weird hours. They were kind enough to do the to build the website and power it from Husbandry Pro. We messaged at all hours, and it was kind of funny. We would both shoot each other a message, "Hey, I'm actually not going to be like." It wasn't like, "Hey, I'm here." It's, "Hey, I'm not going to be here for these 6 hours." Like it was like
It's more, yeah, it's more normal for you
yeah,
to be there doing this than it is for you not to be there. Yeah.
than to not be. Yeah, like it wouldn't be, "Hey, I'm available anytime." It would be, "Hey, I'm only not available only this time." And that was both of us. We were both that way. So, uh, to the other
Yeah.
point
So,
of
like, here's just to to talk about that and his comment here. My boundaries will start in 5 years, hopefully. Like, there's this hopefully, right? That they're going to. So there is something that you're both looking forward to, but it's just not right now. There's a certain rest that you're looking forward to. See, my thing is like I'm always my rest is rest. Rest position is what I'm always seeking all the time. So I do like my work sometimes,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, my favorite part of my workday is when it's over. And that maybe that's sad for some people. Maybe people hear that and they go, "Oh, that's really sad." And maybe it is. I don't know. But my favorite part is when I've accomplished a whole bunch of stuff and then at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or whatever, I shut down, and then it's done for the day. And yeah, there are some things that come through, but really in accounting, like, are there really emergencies that can't wait until the
Right.
morning?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I gauge them. I gauge to see if the client, like, if an email comes in, if the client is like super upset about something or they're anxious about something, yeah, okay, then you go back. But really, is there anything that can't wait until the morning? I usually err on the side of that. But
Right.
I'm always trying to get there. Now, is there this sense that you guys are going to get there just someday? And is that what you're looking forward to?
Well, I think you and I have had this conversation before, Joe, but I have this master spreadsheet that is a projected net worth of Adam over the next. When I started, it was like a 20-year plan of how I'm going to get to X dollar amount, and at X dollar amount, I can go like that, and I can live my life. And my wife one time said, "You're absolutely insane," and I took that to mean she didn't have faith in me that we could get there. And she said, "No, no, no. You will get there. You will not stop when you get there." She goes,
Yeah.
there's no part of you that's going to go, "Okay, I'm done. I'm out." And I was like, "Yes, I am. I'll go chill and relax." Well, that conversation was 3, 4 years ago. And we worked through it. We're fine. But that's sort of wrong in my mind where I'm like, I actually like, I really enjoy it. Like I wake up excited to go do what I do. Some
Hmm.
people go watch a movie, or my wife loves to read. She'll just read like nonfiction, like in my mind, they're just stories, but they're great. I'm sure they're great literature. I like to go learn stuff. In those downtimes, I'm like, okay, what can I learn? What's another strategy? Or I need to, what is this SEO? Or what is this
Yeah.
uh, marketing angle? Or how can I use AI in my business life? Like those are the things. That's what I do for relaxation, and
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So I don't know. She might be right. Maybe I'm not gonna just tick off. But I what I do want to be able to do, I would much rather be like the CEO owner than the owner operator, because honestly, the business is running me right now rather than me running the business.
Okay.
And even bringing on, I hate to say an employee because they're help, like they're literally a help to me. Like an employee sounds like their own, like they're literally part of the team now. Um, that's really helped, but it does come at a financial cost. So like you get ahead and you get this like little business that's churning and producing, and then you realize, well, okay, I'm capped out and it's really not good enough, so I'm going to have to bring in somebody. Well, that brings your business, the bottom line, way back down, and so
Yeah.
now I got to produce more. um so I'm that's what I'm going through. But as far as like how do you get away, or how do I relax and enjoy, like I feel at peace when I'm like, oh, let me go learn more. I like that. That's just me. And I had to
Why does that
realize
bring you peace? Why does that bring you peace? Because
I,
you're learning something that will now, is it learning something about your business, or is it learning something just in general, just learning about whatever?
generally about business.
Okay.
But
All right.
I don't know. I like it. I mean, I like it as much as almost, I don't know. I mean, it's a different bucket, but I like it as much as playing music. I mean, it's like I would go noodle on a guitar or go learn
Yeah.
something in business. Um, Charlie at Gray Riders is he and I have had this conversation where he's like, "Man, if something interests me, I got to learn everything I can." I mean, the guy started a DNA testing company because it was interesting to him. I mean, and he's
Yeah.
killing it. Like he's the guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, I like that stuff, and I enjoy it. And it's not an equation where I'm like, okay, I have to learn more so that I make more money and I can be rich. Like it's not that in my mind. It's, hey, this is neat. How can I apply this? Ooh, there's a way. Um, and like all these exciting things that I used to have to be like have a deadline to reach. Now it's like, no, I'm just excited to do it. I don't have anybody pushing me to do it. I'm excited to go do it. It's fun to be like, it's almost like, oh, here's another little bit of something that'll help me never have to go do that other thing again. So I kind of like that, you know?
Yeah, that's motivating. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, there was somebody who commented earlier the difference between. I mean, I'm an employee, right? I think it's
Uh-huh.
Joe's an employee, and there's a difference there. Yeah, like I'm doing it for a job for somebody else, for a company, somebody else. When I had my own business for a few years, yeah, it's definitely a different mindset about when to answer, how urgent things are, how and but also I would also say though that even when I had my own business, I picked something that also was not urgent. Like I I didn't want it to be like, ah, gosh, I gotta get this together or whatever. I'm just not. I just wouldn't. It was just wasn't like that. So there was a certain amount of trying to figure out like what can I do that's I'm not going to be stressed. I'm not going to be stressed. Do you feel like is there a difference in stress between what you do now and what you used to do? And does that come from that difference in stress, whether it's lower or higher?
Yeah.
Is that because you own your own business or you're not working for somebody else?
Yeah. It's probably, so I was thinking of two scenarios. Let's go back to like, so in the summertime, me and my wife, we really like watching Big Brother. It's one of the few TV shows I get to, and it's total trash. It's great. It's just a guilty pleasure, right? It's like drinking a wine cooler. Right? Yeah, you don't really want to tell anybody, but it's okay. So uh, I think, I don't know. That's a weird analogy. Anyway, when I was working for somebody, if I was interrupted during Big Brother, I probably had this like stressful, frustrated, these people, they don't know anything about. Now, if I'm interrupted during Big Brother, I'm like, oh, here's a sale, baby. Hang on just a second. Let me send this email. So, like, she probably still has to put up with me working constantly, but at least I'm probably like a happier person working all the time versus like a frustrated
Right.
working all the
Yeah.
time. So that's like a nuanced upside. That's pretty good. Uh, I maybe I don't know. Like there is stress. It's not like I don't want to project that like, ooh, I'm just making so much money with snakes. I can relax and go to Florida and sit in front of a banana tree. Like
Well,
that's not
that's where
true. That's not
yeah,
true either.
yeah. That's where the stress comes in. I think that replaces, when you're working with somebody, there's always this low level stress, like, are you doing a good job?
Yeah.
And will they all of a sudden, like you've mentioned, all of a sudden they'll come in and because they've made some decision that's out of your hands, you'll just lose the income that you have. And it's just
Yeah.
your job is in somebody else's hands. There's probably like a kind of like a low level stress that like kind of ebbs and flows if you are an employee, right?
Yeah.
Because those things are out of your hand. But that's when you're not working for somebody and you're just working for yourself. That's kind of replaced with this. Well, this stress that's kind of all the time.
Yeah.
I gotta make money. I gotta make sure that
Right. I
this
gotta
is working.
live. Yeah.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's better to answer calls during Big Brother that for a company that you own
Right. Then
than
I'm happy.
opposed
Yeah.
to answering questions or answering calls during Big Brother for somebody else's company.
Yeah. I get a call at home. Oh, so and so's melting down because they don't like their we're out of steak. I don't know. Go figure out why you didn't order the steak. Get out of here. Versus, yeah, I'd love to sell you this snake. That would be great. So it is two different things. I'll tell you also, I don't bring it up as much as I should, but an important detail is I have my other company of hospitality consulting,
Yeah.
and like I'm good at that. Like I consider myself an expert in that. That provides me a safety net, both financially but also mentally. I could do that. I wouldn't say in my sleep because I work very hard at it, but that's going to make everything okay. That's going to buy me time while I don't have that same mental confidence with the snakes yet.
Yeah.
So then that's the difference between, over 25 years at one thing and just knocking on the door of 5 years at the other thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, I do project that I own snakes and that's my business, but I do have that other business that is, um, full transparency. For the past couple years, it's provided some income, and the snakes have provided the most income. But I just re-upped with a new project that actually is going to put that back. So both businesses are building and growing. So I'm doing both at the same time. And as crazy as that sounds, that lowers my stress because I know, well, if one's down, the other's going to go okay. And if, oh, look at this, I
Yeah.
just got a new project here. Now I can invest more in the other business and grow it. So it's been a pretty cool sort of duality to do both.
Yeah, and it's not putting all your eggs in one basket, I guess. But
Yeah.
also, does it take focus away from your snake business? And how do you mitigate that? Like, how do you take care of that? How do you and that to me leads to the other part of this conversation, which is like, okay, if maybe I have to pass along some of the responsibilities to somebody I hire. And how do you
It
let go of that?
yeah. It was kind of a neat thing when that client called with this new project that's going to be a 2 or 3 year thing. I had been at this moment with my wife Kelly where she's like, Adam, you need help. I'm like, I don't have the money to hire. I have the money for what we need and I'm doing it. And it takes all this work to do that. And she's like, well, someone's got to give. You're going to drive yourself nuts. And Kelly's incredibly supportive, but she sees she knows me, which is my wife. Like, she knows when I'm getting too far into something, and she
Yeah.
knows I'll go way too far into something. And I couldn't figure out in my mind how I was going to take everything I've achieved and then hire somebody and have to ship that money out the door just to get help. It didn't make sense. Well, this
Yeah.
project came along, which was going to infuse a lot of money, and I was like, "Oh, now I can do it." Now, if I view the businesses as one big entity, the net is huge. Not huge. The net is very strong, positive gain. So now it makes sense to say, well, I can make more money altogether and have the money to hire somebody. And so now I'm at the part where I'm like, I got to trust somebody in my own home with my animals.
Yeah.
Are they on the up and up? Which I think that they are. I have no question that they're on the up and up. But like you say, do they do it the way that I would do it, or are they going to make a
Right.
mistake? So like, there's like baby steps of like, and maybe we should do a show just on this one time. It's a little bit tough. One of the very first days, I was like, everything you do here, you don't touch the animals. I do all the thing with the animal. I'll pass on the dirty bins. He deals with the rodents. I was like, you can clean the rodents, but the snakes, you don't touch the snakes. And it
And why
probably
is
came
that?
across, well, because I'm not ready to let go of that. I don't have
Oh.
it's not about the person. It's about me. Like,
Oh, it's not about their safety or anything like
no,
that.
no,
No.
no. And they're a
No,
breeder.
it's
They
like,
handle snakes. They know
no,
what they're
I'm gonna
doing.
do this.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like, wait a minute. If one label gets screwed up on a pet animal, if that's if somebody's not nefarious. If there's just a mistake, I can't have a mistake kind of deal. So
Yeah.
that's going to take a little time, and that's as much about me or more about me than it is about the person. It's not that I don't trust them; they're probably one of the nicest people I know. So like, there's a learning curve there, which is funny because I've employed and been the boss. I've been in management and leadership for well over 20 years, and now I'm like, worlds
I
colliding
mean,
where I'm like,
yeah.
I know I have to trust somebody, but I don't want to.
Do you ever see yourself at some point passing those things along?
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, if I want to grow, I mean, I have about 200 snakes now, but I think that my ideal situation is going to be 90 to 100 female breeders, which means I'll need like 120 adults, and then that means grow outs of 2-3 years of grow outs, and then if I pair 100 females, I'll probably get 75 clutches, which is what's 75 times 6? I mean, it's a massive number of animals, you know. So I think those are the numbers that I kind of need to get to have a full scale true business, and that's going to take way more than just Adam, especially if I keep my hospitality consulting going, you know.
I also, so I listened to you talk like that, and I'm curious as to the people who are listening right now. Does everybody uh, uh, do people think that way? Is that normal thinking for a snake breeder to go, I want to grow, I'm going to grow to this point. I have these goals in mind, or is that specific to Adam? I'm just curious about that.
I think, not to speak for the audience, but for myself, it's evolved over time. If you told me 3 years ago when I was just had 12 snakes in my basement that I'd be talking about, thanks for the quick math, school of crop. If I was talking about having 450 snakes, I would have laughed. I would have been like, you're insane. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But sort of the economy of scale, the gross revenues that I need to do to have enough money to keep for myself, to reinvest in the business, and to pay a couple people, that's where I'm going to need to get to. And the other thing too, you almost need a volume to, because there's successes and there's, I hate the word failure, but there's hits and there's misses. You need a high enough volume to make the hits maximize and be worthwhile. Even this year, I'm finding it, you know, sometimes the odds are with you, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you get eggs that don't develop. Yeah, there's something to the old "don't count your eggs before they hatch" statement for sure.
Is there anything that you do that you would never give up doing in this business? That as you grow and grow, if you gave it up, you'd lose like the thing that got you here.
It's really hard, man, because I did get to the point in my professional career where I was a big advocate for you give everything up. You cannot advance until you give up everything. And the paradox is that makes you a better leader. Let your assistant manager give the final approval on a menu. Oh, that gives me the willies. Let so-and-so become your wine buyer. I'm a level 2 sommelier by the Court of Master Sommeliers. I'm gonna let somebody else be my wine buyer? You're nuts. You gotta let it all go. You gotta train, develop, delegate, and as you let it all go, you get bigger. That sounds insane to me for my snake venture. But to your point, I have to grow to that. But it sounded somebody Wolfhawk Wild Things said, my cap is what I can handle on my own. That absolutely was my mantra for a long time. Matter of fact, my mantra was, I don't want to be anybody's boss and I don't want to have a boss. That was my goal for a long time.
Yeah.
And that evolved, that changed to, okay, I can see around this corner. I got to this point. I need a person so that I can go there. And now I see how to do it. I got my head around it. To each their own. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. My father has run his own sole proprietorship business for a long time. And I've often thought to myself, Dad, you're limiting yourself. You can make so much more money if you would bring somebody else on. He doesn't want to. He likes what he has and he's comfortable in the world that he has. And to this day, I have to remember different things make different people tick. My wife wants to read nonfiction novels, and I want to go study AI SEO. It sounds good to me, man. I'm excited, you know. So it all evolves,
So but when you do bring people on, management does take time, and it's going to take you away. Like dealing with people will take you away from the work that you love to do in this business, and dealing with your employees, and then especially if you grow and grow and grow, then you're managing certain relationships between between your employees
Oh
too.
yeah, God
It's
forbid I
like,
got 3 employees in the same room in an
yeah,
election year. Oh my
right.
God, that's the last thing we want. Yeah.
In an election year, right? Right. Well, we got some people. I'm happy that this is a part of your business and something that you love to do, and we got some people that make it possible as well.
That's
We got
true. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah, so Cold Blooded Cafe takes real good care of us. Guys, if you aren't feeding frozen thawed and you want to try it, I think you should. I think you'll find the benefit to it. There's a financial value to it. These rodents can get shipped right to your door fresh from Cold Blooded Cafe. I start all my babies on ASF and I move all of mine to frozen thawed rats, and I only use Cold Blooded Cafe. Use the promo code Proper11. If you haven't ordered, use promo code Proper11. I am working on like a legacy enduring discount for repeat customers. I think we're close on it, but I'm looking to bring that to you guys as the Proper Royal supporters. Speaking of the support, the audience is awesome too. Also, check out Husbandry Pro. I think everybody's probably heard of it. If you haven't, it's a great way to manage and track data in your collection. You can try it for 60 days for free. Use the promo code PRoyals60. If you can't remember that code, PRoyals60, you just go to properroyals.com. There's a link right there. You click it, and boom, they're going to know that you came from me. They've been great to work with. Also, properroyals.com is driven and powered by Husbandry.pro as well. So there's a whole lot of different things that they offer. They've been really great to work with, and definitely the industry standard on that. Last but not least is you guys, the audience yourselves. Thank you so much. I see some new faces there today. Thanks for joining. If you like
yeah.
what you hear, maybe consider coming to hang out.
I
We
like
do have.
the school.
We got
The
one.
school. What's
Wait,
up?
we
Go
got
ahead.
one more, Joe. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said
Yeah,
not
go.
last but not least, but that was a lie. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons is a fantastic breeder. That's Charlie Ryan up in New Jersey, doing high-end ingredients, singles, doubles, triples, quads. I don't have my notes right in front of me, but I know for sure DG, Pied, Clown, some of the classics, but his Krypton ingredients are phenomenal right now. Go check out his Instagram. Definitely he's working with Puzzle as well, so you can check that out. And then Kreative Genetics, Keith and I have some breeding projects. If you look at my Instagram right now, you will see Axanthic Het Clowns. You'll see Axanthic Pieds, Axanthic Het Pieds. All of those babies are shedding, getting their first meals. Those will all be going to market very soon. So if we can help you, check that out. Thanks to Keith at Kreative Genetics. Take it, Joe.
I'm seeing some folks here, and great chatter on the chat. It's fantastic. The School of Crop. This intrigued me. Honestly, I'm waiting for the COVID guys to sell out. I think he's talking about you, or they're talking about you, aren't they, Adam? You were a COVID
Maybe.
guy.
Yeah. I don't know if they've caught on. I'm pretty stubborn at what I do, and I hope one day that
That's
somebody will
interesting.
call me the Keith Richards of ball python breeders. You just can't kill me, man. Like, you think I'm done? I'm not. But no, to his point, there was a massive boom during COVID. A lot of people bought in because they thought it was easy money, and it was for a little while. And now it's gotten real, and you got to figure out how to get by and make it. So there's a lot of people that are still, getting out very often, but I think that market is kind of reset, and we're sort of getting back to what normal is going to look like, and people have to figure out how to make money in this environment. And I have come to adopt, and I believe in this. There's the same thing in the restaurants. The second you think you have something figured out, it's going to change. There's always innovation. There's always new technology. There's always a new generation that wants something new or does something new. So it's not going to end. I don't know that I would wait. I don't know that I would wait for anything. I think I would figure it out and be ready to evolve as it changes as well. Because you can always
Yeah,
find a
yeah.
reason to wait for something. Hey, that's a good show
Uh,
topic. You can always find a reason to wait for something, right?
yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for including me every time. This is fantastic. It's so much fun to learn from you and from the people in the chat. My favorite part of getting together on Thursday mornings is the chat and seeing what people have to say. So please Whenever we do this, whenever you're on here, and whenever you can, contribute to the conversation. It's my favorite thing here.
Joe, we forgot. I don't know how to bring up the irony of me being on vacation and still doing the show with you. I come here to hang out with you. It doesn't even feel like work. Like, this is a great thing to get up for. By the way, in Minnesota, I got to do this at 6:30 in the morning. This 7:30 stuff, man, this is a walk in the park right here. You can sit out on Beach Boulevard, have a little coffee at the Holiday Inn. You know, it's all right, man. It's all right.
I got my up north friends who go, Florida is not I would never live there. Somebody said to me, I reconnected with her over this past week, and she said, I hate Florida. And I'm like, you hate the place where people go to vacation, and it's a beautiful place, and it's fantastic. I understand that there's weird things in Florida, but it's an awesome place to be.
I will say, I'm now going to go remove my drenched shirt. It's so humid. You can't sit outside. Like, I look comfy. I gotta go shower after sitting outside for an hour at 7:30 in the morning, man. It's unbelievable. Sorry, there's like fire charges. The morning commute is fantastic to watch. It's fascinating. It's great. So, Joe,
well, listen,
I'll
everybody, have a great School of Crop. We'll catch up next week. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more. Is it a hard business to do? I think
it
is.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. On those of y'all local to Minnesota, I'll be vending at the Minnesota Reptile Show. That's the Cold-Blooded Expos show. Probably the best Midwest show that I've seen outside of Tinley. That's this Sunday, so come check it out. One-day show. I'll be there. Then I'll be in Eau Claire, Wisconsin the following week. And the following week of that, 3 shows, 3 weeks in Des Moines, Iowa. So I'll see you guys out on the road.
And there's a big, we got a show before next week. But next week, our show is going to be guest hosted, right?
Yeah. You know what? I forgot. Yeah. Speaking of clients, I got to go to North Carolina. I'll be working. I might be able to host it. I got to see what's going on. Yeah, we're going to figure it out. Next week's show is a bit of a toss-up. It will go on, but there might be one new face. There might be 2 new faces. Speaking of handing over trust and delegation, will we hand the whole show over, or only half of the show over next week? We're going to have to figure it out.
You have to see. And if we don't see you next week, I echo Wolfhawk Wild Things. Everybody have fun at Daytona. It's a fantastic show. If you're thinking about going, go to it. It's
gotta go.
It's a great time. Great time. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss it.
It's my favorite quote of the day. Florida man is an acquired taste. Yeah, you got that right. That is a very fair statement. All right, guys, travel safe. You're going to Daytona. We'll see you somewhere. I don't know if I'll see you next week or 2 weeks, but the show will go on. Thanks, guys. See you soon. I was going to push the wrong button. Let's do this right. See you soon, guys. Adios.